What is going on, Skull family? I'm Kyle,
And I'm Darin
and this is the Purple Dopes with
with
Hope
Hopes
podcast.
podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We're excited that you are joining us. This is our first time doing this, buddy. We are like fresh behind the ears on this. We don't know what we're doing, but
I feel like we've been talking about this forever now, so I'm happy that we're getting this going, man. It's
oh,
great.
absolutely, man. I think this is for those of you guys tuning in. I don't know. We're gonna try the Apple. We're gonna try Spotify. We're gonna try Google. We're gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah,
If you're finding us and you're a Vikings fan, we encourage you guys subscribe, follow along, comment, post, whatever it is.
yeah, love to hear from
Um,
you.
we have been talking about this for I don't know, like 5 or 6 months now.
At least
But
I swear you brought this up during that playoff game we watched too. But
oh well, I don't try to remember that because that was the
yeah,
first game we ever watched together,
it
and
was
the
rough.
Vikings
It was
lost.
rough.
So.
Luckily, the second game went a lot better.
Which is awesome because I think people who are tuning in, it's interesting to know that you and I are friends because of this team, like the
Because of the
Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings.
They are
Yes.
the reason that you and I came together as friends. Your wife was my kid's doctor. Uh,
Yep.
a random comment that I threw at her, hey, you from Minnesota? Do you like the Vikings?
Yeah.
Oh, my husband is a diehard Vikings fan. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I got to meet this guy.
Yeah.
And now
She came home from clinic that day talking about it. It was great. It was
Yep.
great.
And my son is 10 years old now. So this is like a 10-year friendship
Yeah.
based around this team. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's amazing. Like I love that story for us, and even just being back in the state now, it's really interesting to see just how the Vikings bring a sense of community, like just across the state, across the Twin Cities. It's really, I mean, they're hard to love sometimes, but they really do bring everyone together. So
Well, yes. Well,
they might be losers, but there are losers.
they're easy to love, but it's weird that we know they're gonna just break our hearts. Like
Yeah,
it's the most interesting relationship I've ever been a part of.
yep. But every year you're ready to get your heart broken again, right?
uh, and the cool thing about your and I's friendship, I think, is it started in this small town in the middle of Washington State,
Yep,
and then you moved away to the homeland. You moved
yep.
back
Back
to
to the mothership.
Minnesota,
Yep,
back to the greatest place in the world, the
yep.
Minneapolis surrounding area.
Absolutely.
And here I am, just solo, without any Vikings friends around. So the beauty of today's world, though, is you and I can continue
Can just
this
do this.
friendship. Yes, we can
Absolutely.
continue this.
Yeah.
Um,
And we got to get you back to Minnesota. We got to make that a yearly thing. Getting back
oh
here
well,
for a game, man.
trust me, it's already on the list for my dad, so it's
Awesome.
a
Love
given.
it.
So, speaking of my dad, there, I thought as we kicked off this first episode of the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast, that we might just kind of introduce kind of who we are and how we became fans of this team that, as
Love
we
it.
said, breaks our hearts. So,
Yeah.
I'll let you kind of kick it off, Darin. Like, how did you become a fan of the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah. I mean, my household, you were a Vikings fan. There's just no doubt about it. I mean, started with my dad. I have three brothers. I'm the second of four boys. Oldest brother, big Viking fan. I mean, he remembers more stuff than I do. We call him the historian in our family because he doesn't forget anything. So he'll talk about every game he's ever watched. I can do the light version of that. But yeah, it was just all across the house. Every Sunday, you get back from church, you'd eat dinner, and the Vikings would be on. It was great. Um, and I would say I remember as far back as the 91 season,
Okay.
playoff loss in 92. So it was the 91 season, 92 playoffs,
Yeah.
losing to Washington. That's my first memory that like kind of sticks in my mind of
Wow.
the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I remember those Denny Green years where you make the playoffs. It felt like every year, but it was like 92, 93, 94 playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think they missed the playoffs in like the 95 season. You're kind of like, what the hell's what is it? I thought we always made the playoffs. But you're going one and done, and you keep losing. Lost to the Cowboys the following year, and then finally, um, it was the New York Giants 97 playoffs where they recovered that onside kick at
Oh
the end of
yeah.
the game. And it was just like, I don't know, that really lit a match for me because I was going into the 98 season. I was so psyched.
Yeah.
And then I still remember coming home from a basketball tournament. My brother's going nuts, and he's like, "They got Randy Moss," because we were both talking about what if they drafted Moss, what if he falls, and
For sure.
yeah, and then the rest is kind of history after that. I mean, at that point, I was what, probably seventh grade, and
Yeah,
I was diehard and haven't looked back since. So it's, yeah, I'd say for sure, just the family dynamic of it all is like was great. Brought me closer to my brothers, my
yeah,
dad, even my mom's a big fan.
for
So
sure.
yeah, so it's been
Yeah.
great. How about you? What
Well,
you grew up in Washington, so that's probably an even more fascinating story, to be honest.
yeah, so it's interesting. I think you and I have talked a little bit about this, but I've never heard like your full rendition of your fandom. But we
Yeah,
really kind of jumped on the Vikings, kind of like you said, lit that fire right around the same time. Of course, we're right around the same age, so
for sure. Yep.
that makes sense. But my dad was born in Minnesota, a
Okay.
small town in Minnesota in the 70s.
Remind me where.
Breckenridge is the name
Oh
of the
yeah.
town. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, he grew up in the Minnesota area during the 60s and the 70s. 70s, the Vikings were it,
Heyday.
right? You
They
know what I'm
were
saying?
it.
They were
Yeah.
it. They were the team. 4 Super Bowls. They didn't win
Yep.
any. We all know that. But he was a Vikings fan, and then his family moved to Washington
Yep.
State, and he kept that Vikings fandom. So then,
Nice.
fast forward. I'm born in '84. He's got his first son.
Yep.
He's excited, kind of probably like your dad was. Start
Absolutely.
talking
Yeah.
sports, doing sports. And I remember in fourth grade, all my buddies were getting their, team starter jackets,
Yep.
right? The Bulls, the Cowboys, the Carolina Tar Heels. Those were all the biggest
Yeah.
names.
Oh, the
And I
heels. That was a good one.
I open up the box. Well, actually, it's kind of a funny story. He kind of waited to give it to me because I open up all my gifts, and
Yeah.
then he kind of says, "Hey, there's one more kind of sitting back there." I go it up. I'm like, "This is it. This is my team jacket." Open it up, purple Vikings. It was a logo
Hell
athletic
yeah.
jacket at the time, but
That's sick.
purple Vikings team jacket. And I at
That's
that
dope,
point,
man.
I just started kind of playing football.
Yep.
Not really into football like team wise. The Seahawks were terrible, so it wasn't like it is today.
For sure.
And that was it, man. I put that jacket on, and then that led right into kind of the Randy Moss,
Yep.
Randall Cunningham, and all of a sudden, my jacket was cool to wear, right? Because
Absolutely.
Vikings were the team to beat. And I would
Yep.
say that those years, and especially as you kind of said, watching them with my dad, talking about the Vikings with my dad, those really kind of ignited my
Yep.
love and passion for the team. And that passion kind of continued. And then, you start playing football for
Yep.
yourself. And
Absolutely.
well, who do you want to be, man? Everyone wants to be Randy Moss. Well, wait, I'm the Vikings fan. I get to be Randy Moss, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Um, and that's kind of the start of all of this craziness that now leads me into 2025, where I'm raising 3 boys, and every holiday I can get them something. It's a Vikings jersey or a Vikings
Yes.
shirt, and
I love it.
yeah, and
So you're carrying that tradition on then from Washington. You got three more Vikings fans. You got a fourth Viking fan on the way.
yeah. Well, I'm
Love
thinking
it.
the fourth one's going to be the best sell because my other 3 just like to poke jokes. Oh, Dad, we're rooting for the Seahawks this year, or we're rooting
Oh
for the
no.
Lions this year. So,
Yeah.
but I know in my heart, if we can get the Vikings a Super Bowl, it's done, man. They are going to be locked in for years.
They would be locked in.
We just got to
You know
get
what?
them to win one.
You know what you need to do? You got to get him back for a game.
Yeah, well, that's my
That's
plan.
what would do it.
Yeah,
That's what would do it.
that is my plan. Unfortunately, I'm in Washington, so to get to Minneapolis, not as convenient as you to get your
It's not
boys to the game. So,
not cheap. Got got four plane tickets out of there, and yeah, that'd
but
be
it is an investment, right? I'm
absolutely. It's
investing
an
in them,
investment
so
in your future and their
I got to
future.
think
I
about it
love
that
it.
way. I got to
Yeah,
think about that way.
for sure.
Well, for those of you guys tuning in, we are going to be doing this all year, all season long. That's the plan. We're the first one here. We'll see if we can get this one up. We're going to keep going, right?
Absolutely.
That's how we're going to do
I
it.
mean, we're dopes, but we got hopes. We're gonna keep them rolling through the year, through the good, the bad, the ugly, because they're the
Yep.
Vikings. There's gonna be some of each.
Yes, exactly. And we're going to be making our takes now. Darin and I, neither of us are sports analysis paid, but we do follow this team pretty dang closely. So I feel
Absolutely.
like you might even get some better takes than you get from the experts, as they're just trying to sell, get a paycheck. And
We're
we're
not
just here
creating
for
controversies here. Like I'll be
not
the
at all.
first to admit I'm a homer through and through. It's a lot more fun to believe than it is to hate. So I try to believe at all times.
100%. Well, here it is. I got every episode. We're gonna do a little game at the end of it. Could be a random ranking these Vikings players. Could be a favorite moment in the Vikings history. But this week, our first podcast. And if you are following along on YouTube and can comment, I want you guys to tell me where you were when any of these events happened, if you can remember. But here's the first one
Let's see.
for you, Darin.
All right.
Where were you when Adrian Peterson broke the single season rushing game record of 296 yards? Do you remember?
So that would have been the 2007 season.
Yep.
That was my senior year in college.
Okay.
And so my wife, my current wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, lived in the Twin Cities. I was down in it was a fraternity house, her med school fraternity house,
Okay.
visiting for the weekend. I was gonna leave and listen on the radio, which also would have been great. Paul Allen, national treasure, right?
Yes,
But I
absolutely.
decided to stick it out and watch the game, and it was unreal to watch some of those runs. Even though watching those highlights today, it's amazing. So, how
Yeah,
about
it's funny.
you?
It's funny. I just actually I just showed my sons all the highlights from the
Did
game.
you?
Yeah, just we
Oh
randomly found
man.
it on YouTube. It's funny. I was actually a little bit younger than I think I was a little bit. Let's see, that had been 2007, so I would have been like second or third year in my college time, and it was a Sunday, so I would have been working. So I remember now. I was working that day, and my dad, that was his first fantasy football season. And we've done a fantasy football team together every year since then. And in
Wow.
the third round, he goes, "We got to draft Adrian Peterson." And I'm like, "Dad, he's a rookie.
What a
He's
pick.
not even going to be the starter." He's like, "No, no, no. I mean, he still holds this over my head today." So I'm working that day, and my dad called the shop every single run that Adrian Peterson had. Hey, he's up over 100 yards. Hey, he just went over 200 yards. Hey, he's at 250. I'm getting these phone calls, and
And at 250, you're like, no way.
these people at my work are going, "Geez, your dad sure calls you a lot." And yep. Then at the end of the day, he calls me. He goes, "He just broke the NFL record for the most rushing yards in a single
Unreal.
season game." Yeah,
That's
broke it. He's
crazy.
like, he broke it twice because he broke it, then he went under, then
Yep.
he went back
Then
over
you broke
again.
it
So
in. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
I'll never forget those phone calls. That was and once again, my dad and I, as you said, our
Yep.
relationship really is. I mean, during the Viking season, we talk
It's
almost every
amazing.
day and text regularly
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Love
So.
it. Love it.
All right, man. This is gonna hurt. Okay, and I try to include a couple good ones
I
and
already
a
know what
couple
it's
of.
going to be, but
Where were you when Gary Anderson missed his first kick of the season for the NFC
oh,
Championship to send the Vikings to the Super Bowl?
yep. Remember it like it was yesterday. So I was in seventh grade that year, and with an older brother, he was uh sophomore in high school. So I get to tag along with him a lot of the time. And so all of his friends, I was pretty close with them, kind of like, another set of brothers.
Yeah.
So went out to his friend Evan Wilson's house after church that day to go watch the game. There's no way they're losing it, right? We're
No way.
just,
Highest
yep.
scoring offense in NFL history. Like, this is our year.
I mean, the Falcons 14-2, right? Not a
Yeah.
shabby
Oh,
team, but we're just that much better.
yes.
And we're up seven, 2.5 minutes. They're lining up, and a guy who's there named Nathan Brock goes, "What if he misses this one?"
Oh my gosh.
And we all just looked at him like, and sure enough, miss it. The rest is history, right? Misses
Yeah.
it. They score. We kneel the ball with 40 seconds. I think we got the ball in overtime, punted. They go down, kick the
Yeah.
field goal.
Win the game.
Yep. And then the worst part about it is we had it was like a church volunteer event that night in the Twin Cities that we had to drive. Like, we had like a 2.5 hour drive, like
Oh
past
no.
the Vikings practice facility. You're just like,
Oh.
uh,
Yep.
yeah, it's one of those, still haven't recovered.
Yep.
I
No,
mean, I can live day to day. I don't think about it every day, but if it comes to mind, you're like, oh, that's so
yep.
painful.
Oh, I remember I was in the family room of my house watching it with my dad, And it was like when Gary Anderson got up, it was almost like we didn't even blink, right? We
Yeah,
were like, this is a
it's
game.
good.
Going to go
Yeah.
up 10. We're going to win the Super Bowl. And he misses the kick. And it was just, it was just silent the whole rest of the
Yeah.
game. It was like, we are not going to win this game. Like
Mhm.
fate, destiny, the football gods are not going to allow the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl and win.
No, they
So,
are not. No,
yep.
they are not.
And it was just like, it was one of those like, you're just in a haze. You just don't know
Yeah.
what to do. So,
Yeah. No, I remember the game ended. We all just kind of left.
yeah.
No one says anything. You're just, yeah.
Like a funeral, like someone died.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. The season
Oh,
died for
yes.
sure.
All right, well
Uh,
let's bring it up to maybe one of the greatest moments in Vikings history. Where were you when the Minneapolis Miracle happened with Stephon Diggs and the touchdown from Case Keenum?
I was in section 101, row 32, seat 39. What
Wow.
was funny, this will be good because my brother is interested in tuning in, so he'll like this. So I was there with two of my three brothers. My youngest brother and one of his friends were sitting separate from us, and me and my older brother in my seats. And the Saints kicked that field goal. And I'm kind of, I got pretty negative there for a minute. Just like
We all did.
basically, how are we gonna lose this game? Like we're up 17
Yes.
nothing. I went really negative on the bet for a solid 2 minutes. And I'm just like talking, I'm like ranting, like how am I gonna keep these tickets? Like how am I gonna show up here next year? So I'm just standing there stewing and I'm watching the play take, and all of a sudden I see him catch it. And immediately you're like, get out of bounds. And then I don't even remember how like what happened, but he's just running down the sidelines. And I'm
Yeah.
like, whole stadium blew up.
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely a top five moment in my life.
Yeah.
Like, it's I had a birth of my kids, my wedding, but I mean, it was a full stadium embrace,
Yeah.
people crying, hug, like it was people stood around for like an hour after the game.
Yeah.
It was truly amazing. It was. And to
Yeah.
be a part of it was definitely a great feeling.
Yes. No, I'll never forget my wife had taken a girls' weekend, and I didn't have work that next day, so she got a 3-day weekend. So she took
Nice.
and my son was one. See, yes, he was 1.5 roughly,
Yeah.
and he slept through the whole first half.
Yep.
Which I'm like, trying to be quiet, but I'm just pumped. He
Yeah.
wakes up and we're just watching it, watching the game together, my 1.5-year-old son and I. And I'm holding him, watching the game, and Saints, go ahead. And it's just
Yep.
like I'm just broken. Like I'm just
Yeah.
so distraught. But unlike you, my friend, in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm like, it could happen, right?
Yeah.
It
Why
could
not
happen.
us? Why not us?
It could happen. And
Yep.
Diggs steps up and throws that ball. And like you said, it's just slow motion in my mind still as I'm watching it. And he catches it. And I'm just like, get out of bounds, get out of
Yep.
bounds. And he somehow gets loose, by the football gods finally giving us some grace from
That's just
98.
it. Yep.
Down the sidelines he goes for the touchdown. And I am just screaming at top volume. I fall on the floor. Like I'm yelling so loud. I fall just
Yes.
face down on the floor. My son starts just bawling because he thinks dad is like injured, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
something happened. Immediately my phone rings. It's my dad. I answer. We're both just crying, talking to each
Yes.
other on the phone, like, can you believe this happened? And I might have to take the fall on this one a little bit because I answered the phone when my dad called us and I said, we are gonna win the Super Bowl. I was
Yeah.
so confident. I was so confident when I answered that phone call. And then,
It
of
it felt
course,
like destiny. It did,
yeah,
right? I
Super Bowl's in
mean,
Minneapolis, home
that's
team.
just
I mean, yeah, but
yeah. It really the fact that we didn't is still
yeah,
surprising.
yes, 100%. All right, we're gonna bring it down just a little bit again here.
All right.
Brett Favre, he's in
The
the NFC
interception.
Championships. He throws the pick. Where were you when Brett Favre threw the knife in the heart of all Vikings fans?
Yeah, I went to watch that game at a couple of guys that I was friends with lived in uptown neighborhood of Minneapolis, And yeah, I was there for the whole game. Through all the fumbles from Adrian Peterson. I mean, should have won the game by 20, but
Yes.
you know, we're by far the better team. That's what still bugs me about, both 98 and '09 is we
Yep.
were the best team.
Yep.
The Saints get the credit for the Super Bowl, but we would have worked the Colts.
Oh, same thing in
Anyway,
98.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Broncos wouldn't have stood a chance.
Yeah.
But it was similar to the '98 game where, he throws the pick. You're like, we could have just kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Ryan Longwell from 55, that's good, man.
For sure.
Like, I know he was old. There's no way Longwell's missing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you got the same kind of sense though of foreboding, really, like as a fan, kind of like
Yeah.
this can't be happening again.
Yeah.
And then kickoff. It was it Cedric Griffin starting corner tears his ACL on the kickoff, and then they get the phantom pass interference call on
Oh
Lieber.
gosh. Yep.
And then they're just like, yeah, I mean, it's over. And they kick it. And yeah, everyone stood up. I was at someone else's house, right? So Carrie and I walked out. No one said a word. Everyone else walked to their rooms. We were just like,
Yep.
this is this is terrible.
Yep.
And
Very.
then it, again, just hurt for like weeks afterwards.
Yep. I'm in like a very similar boat. I was watching it at a buddy's house with some friends. I'm in my Vikings gear. We're going. Brett Favre, he's going
Yep.
to lead us to our first Super Bowl. Just shove it to the Packers. And
Oh, it's
so
so good.
throws the pick, and it's just like the sails just go out. And
Yeah.
then the game ends, and I'm probably about a mile away from my house. It's the middle of winter in Spokane, Washington. I walk home in my jersey,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I'm just in a daze. Like I feel like
Don't know what
I'm
else to
just
do.
yeah, like what do I do right now? I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably, 15, 20 degrees in Washington, and I'm just like walking in a jersey, like just stewing in my sadness. And I don't know, I don't got home, I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
like walking, just like it's like that that gif where the guy's just like walking with
Yeah.
I mean, that was me. I was just walking in the middle of this park. I remember walking in this middle of the park, probably snow on the ground. I'm in short sleeves and just walking, like just a zombie. So, no.
I stayed in the denial and then bargaining phase for quite a while,
Gotcha.
kind of like
Yes.
this can't be real.
Yes.
Like, what could I do to make this not happen?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what could I have done differently?
Yes, exactly. We
Should
play
I have
that
worn
game,
my
man.
hat slightly
Yes.
different?
Yep.
And
100%.
it's
100%.
brutal. Yeah,
All right. Last one here. We'll end on a high note. Where were
bring it up.
you when the Vikings made the largest comeback in NFL history, down 33, winning the game against the Colts?
That was in Chelan at
Okay.
home, and it was just me and the two boys.
Oh,
Carrie, I don't remember where she was that day, but it was just me and the kids home. And so it was interesting because like we're watching and it just got out of hand like from the start,
oh,
right? It was
yeah.
like they score, I think they blocked a punt,
Yep.
ran it like
Ran
I
it
was like,
in. And
yeah,
I think there was some
through
sort of
there's a
short
pick six.
yeah, red zone turnover. Yep.
Yep. So it's just like I mean, there wasn't even time to be like upset. You're just kind of like, how is this happening?
Yes.
And so, we're going to halftime, we're getting dominated, and so it's basically the TV's on, we're playing and doing other stuff, but like I'm
Yep.
kind of peeking, and so they go on and score. I'm like, okay. And then I think they got a fairly quick touchdown after that.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it was like what, like 33-14. You're
Yep.
like, and then the wheels start turning. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, there's enough time. Like if you
Yeah.
get a quick stop
Middle of
and
third quarter. We got, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then they scored. It felt like they scored almost too quickly then on
Yeah.
that Delvin screen pass where all of a
Yes.
sudden they get the ball back and you're thinking, we're one, like I think Vikings fans do like to blame the refs a lot.
Hmm.
Um, that's just the nature of being a Vikings fan. I think you like to make excuses.
Yes.
I thought we got a good call on that spot when they did the QB sneak there,
Yes.
but I'll take it. And then yeah, Delvin scores on the screen pass the next play, and you're like, oh my God. And then
Yeah.
overtime again was kind of a grind.
Yes.
But then to make that field goal right at the end, I mean, it was just like it felt like you had to get there,
Yeah.
is really how it felt. Like, how are we gonna come all the way back and then tie? Like
Yes.
that,
I was in the same boat.
no
100%.
way.
Yep.
Like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got that field goal to go, and it was interesting because it wasn't a meaningless game, but it was still kind of like it didn't. I don't think it would have changed anything had we lost that
Yeah,
game playoff seeding wise. But still, just an amazing experience to watch that
for
comeback.
sure. Oh,
And just to see the fight in the team. I think that for
yeah,
me was like the best thing to see, which was kind of the characteristic of that team all season
yeah,
long.
yeah.
So
For me, man, I was actually I was coming off of surgery. I had just gotten a surgery that day before, and so I was a little bit. I was feeling good, on some
oh
pain
yeah,
medication, and
nice.
I'm watching the game, and gets to halftime, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I look at Tiffany, my wife, and I just say, "We're going home." Like we were in Spokane. I'm like, "We're gonna drive home 3 hours." Like I don't even want to.
yeah.
And that was really when I got introduced to Paul Allen. I hadn't listened to a ton of Paul,
Oh
and I mean, I'd heard the highlights, but I'd never
yeah,
heard the like game, during game stuff. And I found the Vikings podcast or the Vikings game cast on
yep.
iHeartRadio, and so I'm listening to it on the way home, but driving the drive from there, it's like you're
Oh yeah,
spotty in and out of service.
yep.
And, I think that they had scored once or twice, and then I'm kind of dozing in and out a little bit. And all of a sudden, we go through this dead patch for about 30, 40 minutes.
Oh
And
no.
my phone clicks on when I get, and my buddy Jordan, another diehard Vikings fan, texts me, and he goes, the Vikings are within, well, did it get to 30, 33 or something like that? Oh, yeah, it did because they tied it.
Yep,
And
yep.
he's like, the Vikings are 3 points down. This is not a joke text. Like he had to be clear that this was not a joke text. And then thankfully, as we came in, it came back on. So I got to hear the Dalvin. No, no, no. I got to hear the field goal to go to overtime, and then I got to hear Paul Allen call the game
No,
winning
it
kick.
wasn't it. Didn't Delvin? I thought it was like 36-29,
You're right
and then
because that
Delvin. Yeah,
yes, you're right. Can they had to go for a 2 point conversion there? So I think it was 36
30. Yeah,
33.
yeah, 36-28 maybe. I
Yeah, yeah,
forget. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, regardless, I got to hear, the
Nice.
overtime and
Oh,
Paul Allen call, Greg Joseph's, what was it,
what a
60,
call.
63 yarder,
Oh,
62?
that was the one versus the Giants
No,
on
the
Christmas.
Giants. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. No, this
I think that one was maybe like a
40. Yeah, you're
40-ish,
right. You're
give or
right.
take.
So,
But
yep, you're 100% right. So I got to hear him call it, and it was just, like, oh, and then actually now it's like Paul Allen is my Sunday
oh,
way
it's
to listen to
awesome.
games.
Absolutely.
I'll have it on the TV, and I won't even turn the sound on. I just like hearing Paul Allen call the games. So,
He's amazing by himself. There's also no good announcing teams left unless you get
oh,
like if you get Nance and Romo, but other than
yeah,
that, it's like I
for
feel like the
sure.
rest of them are kind of garbage. So
Yep, yep. They're always trying to kick you back to, oh, well, that's not quite what Patrick Mahomes can do out there. And you're like,
right, right.
he's not even playing this week. So,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
oh, well,
Good stuff, man.
that's my list, man. And that is the first
Awesome.
episode of the Purple Dopes with Hopes podcast. So if you have checked this out, please follow along wherever you listen to podcasts, or if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to that as well. Darin, man, are you
This
ready
is
for this
fun.
season? Ready to
I,
do this?
I can't wait, man.
Okay.
So let's see. Looking ahead, we got training camp starting on Wednesday.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, first preseason game I think is 3 weeks. So
Sweet.
let's
Well,
we'll be throwing another episode, probably post that first game, huh?
for sure. Yeah, if not before. So tune in,
Love it.
follow along. But in the end, we skull, you all skull, we all skull together, man. So
All
have a
right.
good one. We'll catch you
You
guys
too.
next time.
Thanks.